Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Bug Warrior. In this episode I will show you how to unlock the Strange Reflections endgame questline, how to begin completing Delirium encounters, and how to unlock and use the Decanter of Madness. As always, please consider to subscribe if you're looking for short and straight to the point action RPG guides. Alright, let's get to it. You will get the Strange Reflections endgame questline the first time you encounter a Delirium map. Inside you will find Elder Madox, who is trapped inside a Delirium Mirror. Break the mirror and your job will be to complete that Delirium encounter to free him from the madness. Since you're probably just getting started at the Atlas, don't worry too much about completing that Delirium encounter. Instead, progress as much as you can, and when the Delirium ends, you will be able to speak with Elder Madox. He will thank you for saving him and tell you that the Raven Trickster is back. After a small conversation, the Strange Reflection questline will update and indicate that you need to travel to the Withered Willow. Now, in order to reach the Withered Willow, you will encounter a lot of Delirium maps, so allow me to quickly explain how to complete them. Delirium encounters have changed a little bit in 0.5. In simple words, Delirium encounters are time-based encounters where you need to reach the boss and slay it before the time runs out. This of course sounds easier said than done, since you need to make your way through deadly foes, and believe it or not, the most important thing is knowing the maps, and of course, staying alive. Okay, so step 1 is breaking the mirror that will always be near the entrance. When you do that, that Delirium encounter will officially begin. Your objective, as I mentioned, is to find the boss, and of course the boss will always be at the other side of the map. So in order to reach it, you need to keep an eye at your progress bar. The progress bar will fill up as you advance through the map and slay monsters. You will immediately notice some icons that have question marks. These icons reveal fracture mirror shards that will appear on the map. When you see the icon of the shard change, that means that a fracture mirror is nearby. So check around and interact with it to trigger a special encounter. Now, please note that the fog will naturally disappear. Think of the fog as your life or the time you have to complete that Delirium run. If you run out of fog and you haven't killed the boss, you will fail at the Delirium. So what you want to do, ideally, is move forward and slay as many foes as you can, but only so you can reach the boss. Your objective will always be reaching the boss, so that will always be your number one priority. Now remember that the maps in Path of Exile 2 have different layouts and paths. The reason why I mention this is because sometimes you might encounter a dead end, or simply you will have to walk around an area in order to reach the boss. Well, at the Delirium encounters, going back to the starting position is considered a penalty and will move your diamond icon backwards. The problem is that if you reach the part of the progress bar that has no fog, a timer will immediately activate, indicating that the Delirium encounter is about to end. This sucks because sometimes you have no choice but to retrace your steps. My advice is that if this ever happens, simply because of the map layout, try to use checkpoints if possible, or try to run and slay enemies so the diamond icon doesn't go backwards. This is why sometimes I'd rather not slay all enemies because of the map layout. Of course, if you can get an easy map such as Plantation, then you can go wrong, but be careful. Also remember to activate checkpoints always. At Delirium encounters you can die and you can continue the encounter as long as you still have fog remaining in your progress bar, and if you haven't reached the boss. However, if you forget to activate a checkpoint and die, you will spawn at the beginning, and that means that the diamond icon will be outside of the fog, so you will fail the Delirium encounter. Once you reach the boss and begin the fight, the fog will continue to deplete, meaning you have limited time to slay the boss. This is why reaching the boss with as much fog as possible is the ideal scenario. Also, please know that if you die at the boss, the Delirium encounter will end. However, you will still be able to complete the map. Anyhow, back to the questline. Once you reach the Withered Willow, you will find Elder Madox again. Speak to him, and after a small conversation, he will ask you to defeat 5 Delirium map bosses. Please know that any Delirium map bosses you might have slayed before reaching the Withered Willow will count towards the total. So follow the same strategy as I mentioned before on how to complete the Delirium encounters, and for this particular objective, use the maps around the Withered Willow and go for waystones that you can easily clear until you get the 5 kills. For me, I completed these maps with waystones tier 5 to tier 7. After this, return to the Withered Willow, speak to Elder Madox, and he will unlock the Decanter of Madness. After this, he will give you 5 liquid emotions and an amulet, and teach you how to use the Delirium emotions to enhance the amulet. Remember that you can use your own amulet for this task to be completed, and that you can always open your passive skills tree and inspect the notable passives to get the recipes to those notes. After this, Elder Madox will ask you to complete a Delirium encounter that contains a grand mirror, but we will cover that and more in a future video. Please let us know your thoughts about the Delirium questline and encounters in the comments. We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, please consider to share, like, comment, or subscribe for more beginner's guides, and I will see you in the next one.
Trickster's words. Be steadfast.